Hello everyone and welcome back to the Fab TCG YouTube channel. It's Hayden and Brennan here from Arsenal Pass, back with another Dynasty Blitz gameplay video. We're showing off some of the new cards from Dynasty, some of your old favorite heroes. I've got Dorinthea today and Brennan's got a very well-known hero in this current Blitz format, Iyslander. If you do want to check out the Decktechs for these decks that we are playing in this video, links are down in the description below, and here on the Fab TCG YouTube channel, we go through everything for these decks. These are budget versions of decks. They don't have legendaries or fables, but we do also talk about upgrades as well as some of the cards that you could chop and change to play this deck, as well as all the equipment we're playing. I do just want to point out before we start, because we are playing as Iyslander, the equipment suite I've brought out for this game. I've pulled out the Null Room gloves. Otherwise, I've kept with pretty defensive equipment, just because Icelanders these days tend to go a bit more on the attack action side. So we're going to try and lean into that. Brendan, any sort of notes from your side before we get into it?
Well, Iyslander is also affected by the bans, so no Aether Ice Vein, no Hypothermia. The Iyslander deck does still look pretty similar to what we're used to, what dominated that recent battle-hardened circuit, and what had a pretty good performance at the World Championships. It is a attack action, non-attack action hybrid build, utilizing Wizard's ability to play at instant speed, but also these big overcosted attacks, powerful attacks overrate attacks in the form of Wounded Bull, Fjendahl's Fighting Spirit, all of that kind of stuff, and utilizes a Snapdragon Sealer to potentially Snapdragon a Scar for Scar or something like a Snatch. One of my favorite decks to play, and I'm very happy to be sitting on it across from what looks to be a new Dorinthea, because I see a weapon that I haven't seen before over there.
Yeah, if you want to hear about Quicksilver Dagger and Centauri Saber Dorinthea, check out the deck tech. All right, Brendan, odd or even?
I'll take even.
All right, it is. It's a 6. What would you like to do?
I will go second.
Oh, interesting. Interesting. Okay. I think against Dorinthea, that's actually traditionally pretty standard, right? I guess.
Yeah, it's pretty standard versus Dorinthea. I think it's also pretty standard as Iyslander. It depends, like in some matchups, but I think that because the Iyslander deck has attacks like Wounded Bull and like Fjendahl's Fighting Spirit, if you go second, you're given the opportunity to not only manipulate your life total, Scar for Scar as well, but also be the first player to sort of tempo the other player's hand, which is very powerful when your deck is disruptive with ice and is threatening a lot of damage.
Yep. All right, let's see if we can push something into Brendan to start with. We'll play Slice and Dice Red from hand to start with. So whenever we attack with a sword or dagger this turn, the first one's going to get +1, and the second one is going to get +3. We're going to pitch this, push forward, put 2 resources, and come in with the Centauri Saber. So coming in for 3 here at the moment. And if it is defended by an attack action, this Saber is going to get +1 to the end of turn.
For 3 at the moment.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I do think this might be one I just have to block for 3 and potentially take some damage off of, which is fine. I'm not sure how much I can overblock these because of Dorinthea's ability. Yeah. This is the new thing. Hey, it's like
It's not Kasai. It's not traditional Dorinthea with Dawnblade. It's kind of a hybrid in between. How do you play into it? I think that's one of the advantages of this this new. I'm calling it Saber Dagger Dory.
Oh, God, goodness. Okay, I'll block for 3.
All right, turn 0. He's already under the pump. It's a non-attack action, so no Centauri trigger. All right, I have no attack reaction, so I'm just going to pass priority there.
Whew, thank God, yeah.
Yeah, no go again here. No pump above, so we're just going to Arsenal and draw up 3 cards to 4.
I had a little heart attack there for a sec. I'm going to do E-Strike, draw.
Draw a card.
Actually, E-Strike go again.
E-Strike go again. All right, so coming in for 5. And you have 2 cards in hand. All right, map out what we're going to do next turn.
Actually, E-Strike draw. I was correct. Sorry. I'm all flustered after that first turn.
I've got him on the ropes.
The trigonometry of like Kasai thing, whatever.
10-0 on the ropes. Well, I think in that case, probably just want to maximize. Yeah, let's go ahead and it's an interesting one. Let's go ahead and defend for 3 with this Blue Alpha Blood. Take 2. So 18 plays 18.
Yeah. Well, man, now I'm like Crown. By the way, if you're looking for an upgrade in Iyslander, Crown of Providence could be pretty good. Oh man.
I just should have drawn a blue.
I did draw blue, but it's just not the one I want to put in my arsenal.
All right, so come in for 7.
Yeah, just for 7.
Okay. Well, I gotta decide if we want an arsenal here or if we want.
So our turn looks a little awkward, right? Because basically we put our opponent down to 18, turned off the +1 from Wounded Bull, and we drew an unknown card, which we're likely going to put in our arsenal without Crown of Providence. I still think that this is probably one of the most impactful plays you can make as Iyslander. Is the E-Strike draw and to go again Wounded Bull, play an arsenal on the following turn.
I think we want to. So we do have a few pieces of equipment here, so we can stop things like Snatch and stuff like that. And he has used the Snapdragon Scalers, so they're less relevant now. So I don't want to be stuck with, if he turns to Arcane all of a sudden, I don't want to be stuck with equipment we haven't utilized, and we might pop this Helmet of the Sharp Eye, potentially very soon. So I'm going to go ahead here. I'm seeing the things like Brothers in Arms as well. I'm just working out how much. I think we're actually going to defend with 2 pieces of equipment. I don't want to be left with some liability, as I would say, on the battlefield. So I'm going to go ahead and defend for 6 here, and we'll take the 1 down to 17.
Sure, and I will pass an arsenal.
All right. Yeah, I don't know. That's a really tight play, that one, about whether I should. It's one of the things against so many decks now in this game. It's like, what, we saw Brendan have an existential crisis on turn 0 there. Now, I was trying to work out how I should be defending here, depending on what's in his deck. I don't know what's in his deck. I haven't seen the deck yet, but I'll be sure to go and watch it.
Have an existential crisis.
All right, we're going to come with Centauri Saber for 2 here off the Quicksilver.
Okay, I'll say no blocks.
All right, I have a reaction, unsurprisingly. We're going to play Blade Runner. So we're going to give it +3, and my next one-handed weapon attack this turn gains go again.
Okay. Does it give the weapon after that something as well, or?
Yes. Yeah, sorry. This is still for 2. The next weapon is going to get +3.
Sure. I'll take the 2.
Okay. So down to 16, and then now the dagger is going to come in for 4. Just got the +3 from the Blade Runner.
Sure. I will block for 4 with Fate Foreseeing and opt.
And you're making sure that I'm playing correctly here. Thank you.
I will keep that on top.
All right. No other effects. I'm just going to pass the turn.
I'll have something at the end of your turn.
Sure.
I believe. I think I have to clear this out of my arsenal, unfortunately. Play Frostechs.
Okay.
Give you a Frostbite.
Yep. I have Frostbite, and then I don't have any floating, so I'll take the damage end of turn down to 16 from the Frost X.
Yep. So that was the card that I had the sort of turmoil with like arsenaling. I was like, God, I don't want to arsenal this card. But luckily we were able to get a window there in which to play it. But once again, we have now run ourselves into like sort of a low value player here with Wounded Bull coming in for 7 and not 8.
All right, decision time. Decision. You have any cards in hand?
No cards in hand.
Oh, he's playing Hellbent. All right. He's got no access to potentially disrupt our turn now. So these are the kind of turns against Iyslander where I think you want to try and do whatever you want to do. You want to try and have your best turn because you know that they can't throw frostbites at you. So I think, what does my best turn look like? I think that's the question.
Yeah, so as the Iyslander in this match, because we've noticed that our opponent has Arcane Barrier 1, it's really kind of pertinent for us to apply pressure with these big attack actions in the early game and then try to close the game out with things like big spells on our turn, plus maybe blue spells on their turn, whether it's Emeritus Scolding or just anything with the Waning Mood. It's a hard cycle for a deck like Dorinthea to deal with.
I'm just going to defend for 1 with these Refraction Bolts.
All right, so you've got a 10.
Going to take 6 times 10. 10 plays 16.
All right, well, here comes the big pop-off turn, as they say.
Definitely. You're going to see the power of Saber Dagger Dory.
Saber Dagger Dory. I like that.
All right, I'm going to play Outland Skirmish. So my next one-handed weapon attack this turn is going to get +3. I'm going to pitch this hit and run to come in with the Centauri Saber. So it is coming in for 3. So it is 5 total. And if it hits, I'm going to get a copper token. The next time a weapon hits this turn, I get a copper token.
Yeah, because I don't have Crown of Providence, I'm drawing another E-Strike, and I feel I'm uncomfortable about E-Strike drawing. It's like, where usually it's like, okay, if I get something bad, I can just tuck it. But if let's say I blocked with my hand, what's left of than Lightning Strike plus another card, E-Strike draw, put a bad card in my arsenal, or have no arsenal, I think that's a way I lose this game. And the arcane damage is... So this is coming in for 5.
Yeah, correct. And if we hit, we're going to be able to
No
attack
one
with this. Potential. Well, Dorinthea will trigger, but currently I don't have go again at the moment. I do have Refraction Pulses and 3 cards in hand.
So I am debating whether to use my armor or not. The tough part is like Dorinthea does have some cards that have very relevant on-hit triggers. This is more of a life thing. I'm going to say no blocks to that.
Alright, I have a reaction. I'm going to play Blade Runner red from hand.
Sure. So I'll take 5.
Yep, take 5 down to 11. I will generate a
10.
copper. Unsurprisingly, I don't have a copper token prepared because I'm not actually playing cash into my deck. Alright, so this gets go again, and this can attack an additional time this turn. 1 resource left, +3 to my next one-handed weapon attack. So we are just going to use that resource immediately and come in with a Quicksilver Dagger for 4 total.
4 total.
And so the dagger does have go again thanks to its ability because the Centauri Saber got go again.
I will block for 3.
Now I'm thinking. You have 3 cards in hand, right?
Yeah, that's correct.
What can we do? I think I want to utilize as much as I can here. So we're going to pitch this run through. I'm going to play a Singing Steel Blade.
Yep.
So it's going to get +1, and then I'm going to search for an attack reaction I can play this turn with the reprise.
Yep.
Ooh.
You have Out for Blood?
I'm thinking Iron Song Response here.
Yeah. Oh, maybe because you need the resource for the blade. Yeah.
Yeah. But I actually think...
Into the Swing.
I think we'll take In the Swing, yeah, because the Iron Song can be more relevant later in the game when Brennan has to defend, and if we're just attacking with 1 weapon, that might cut down our options we have. It could also be dead, though. It could also cause us issues, but I think I want it in the swing here. So I'm going to play the In the Swing. That's going to give +3. So we're going to be at 8 total.
So I take 5. Down to 6. 6 plays 10.
Alright, we have 1 resource left. And we'll use it to swing in with the saber.
For 2.
2.
And Hellblade Sharp Eye is a reaction?
It is, but it costs 1. I have no resources.
Okay.
Now. Yeah.
I'll take 2. I'll go to 4.
Okay. Keep in the hands.
4 plays 10.
Correct.
Alrighty. Well, we survived the scary part.
I still got all my equipment. What are you talking about?
Equipment, exactly. Alright, we're going to play Fendel's Fighting Spirit, Pitch Brothers in Arms. We'll gain a life. We'll go up to 5, and this will be for 7.
5 plays 10.
Now Hayden needs to think about Emeritus Scolding.
It's true. I do have to think about that card. We know
we have to think about a lot of cards, actually. We're the Dorinthea player here.
So let's say Brennan has something like a Scolding next turn that represents 7 damage with the Waning Moon. We can prevent 2 of it, so we need to be on at least 6. That seems like we should block with 1 card, right? Go to 6. Yeah.
Seems reasonable.
It does, doesn't it? Can you potentially... I think about what we do want to do here, though. Because we can... The Helm of the Sharp Eye, the problem with Helm of the Sharp Eye is we don't know what we're going to get. We don't know if we're going to hit a reaction. We don't know if we're going to have an attack, a non-attack action. We might have to roll the dice on that. I think we might be on a Courage thing, because we also have to potentially play around his Frostbite. So... I'm going to go ahead and we're going to block with the Slice and Dice, and we will take 4 here. Go to 6.
Alright, you're at 6. I'm at 5, and I will pass the turn.
Now we're playing Flesh and Blood. Alright.
Indeed.
Let's go ahead and pop this Courage of Bladehold. Any response?
Any response? How many cards do you have in hand? 30.
I have 3. So it's good noting that the courage only my Centauri saber is going to cost 1 less. We're still going to pay 1 for the quicksilver dagger because it's a dagger, not a sword. The courage blade hold doesn't work on that. I would consider, I think, in a fully powered deck, I'd consider playing Spring Tunic. You could even potentially play like Blossom, but I think that the 2 defense or the 3 defense potential is pretty huge from courage, so that's why we've played it here.
Yeah, I'll say no response.
Okay, so we're gonna leave this up here as active this turn.
A tough game.
So I think Brennan would try and overblock this if we don't do this. So we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna play this precision press. So next sort of dagger attack this turn has go again and piercing 1, blue version. This cost us 1 resources. All right, let's come in with the Centauri saber. It doesn't cost anything, so we're coming in for 2.
And you have 1 card in hand.
1 card in hand. Could have taken a riskier line here with the helm of the sharp eye, but and the refraction bolters, but we'll make this play a bit safer.
I'll block for 3 with a non-attack action.
Okay. Just
oh, tight game.
Thinking. Yeah, it's a tough one.
Thinking.
Card. What's that card in his arsenal? Okay, I think that's fine.
Okay.
We'll pay 1 and we'll come in with the dagger.
Okay.
1.
And this does not have piercing, right?
Does not have piercing.
Let me think.
Cool to see. Is that Swell Tidings making an appearance there?
Yep, Swell Tidings right there. Swell Tidings indeed. Swell Tidings to you. All right.
We might be in a position where playing around Emeritus is going to be very difficult. But we'll see.
This is just coming in for 1.
It is just a plain old 1.
Just a wee 1, eh? I'll block for 2.
It's a cold snap.
Yeah.
All right. 2 cards in hand. All right. I'm gonna pay 1, and I'm gonna Alpha Blood this.
Cool. Faith for seeing.
Okay.
Opt. We could top that.
All right, and then we'll come back in with the Centauri saber for 2. 3 off this courage.
Yeah, I think I have to take 2.
Okay, down to, so 3 play 6?
Yeah, 3 play 6.
All right, over to you. Oof,
all right.
It's tight, it's tight. What is this card in Arsenal?
It's a Scar for Scar in my end.
Okay, so no cards in hand, Scar for Scar.
Yep.
Definitely feels like Brennan's trying to get us down to a particular life total, doesn't it?
Maybe.
All right, I think we go ahead and we block with this in the swing for 3.
All right, down to 5.
Yep, 5 plays 3.
Weird, that's like a number.
It is a number. It's the Emeritus number we talked about. All right. It's just blue precision press and come with Centauri saber for 2. On my channel.
2.
I had opposite facing Centauri sabers and Quicksilver dagger, which is great, but they probably should be the other way around.
2, 2, 2, 2, 2. So I shouldn't die to. 3 is the tough life total for me as well.
It is, yeah. We're both kind of at some pretty important breakpoints here because You know, I mean, the interesting thing is if I had Dawnblade, 3 is more of a relevant breakpoint, because if you defend this for, say, 3 with an Aether Hail or something, even if I pump for the 3 over, I'm only going to leak 2 damage, so it's quite as relevant.
Yeah, I just don't want to get singing.
The singing breakpoint. There's one in my graveyard though. What's the chance to have another one in my hand?
Yeah. It'd actually be easier to block Dawnblade, to be fair.
Yeah, the dual weapons is pretty cool.
I'll block for 3.
Decision time. What do we think he has? Okay, we're gonna A1.
Yeah.
I think. Yeah, we are. Out for blood.
Okay.
So giving it +3.
Yep.
And +1 to my next. Since it has reprise.
Yep, going down to 1, and then
I'm gonna.
And that dagger costs you 1, right?
It does.
So I'm gonna respond to this as well. I think I'm gonna.
Okay, so before damage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Frosting you and give you a frostbite.
All right. Here's one I prepared earlier. I'm also gonna refraction bolters.
And the 1 damage as well.
What's that?
1 damage from frosting.
Yep. I'm just gonna be taking it.
Sure.
All right. So you have how many cards in hand?
Yeah. And do you 3 cards in hand?
3 cards, yeah.
So you still have the frostbite. Okay.
I do have the frostbite, yeah, and I took 1 damage. And then I'm gonna come in with this dagger. Pitching this with the Quicksilver. So it's gonna cost me 2 because of the frostbite, and it's gonna come in for 2 because of the Out for Blood.
Okay. And then are you able to swing the Centauri Saber again?
I can because this has go again. Sorry, the Quicksilver has go again, and I hit.
How much will the Centauri come in for?
It'll come in for 2 since you defend it with a non-attack action.
Okay. I'm going to Ironhide Gauntlet this.
Yep.
Yeah. If you Helmet Sharp by me, Helmet Sharp by me, I think at this point.
Okay, I'm gonna Helmet Sharp Eye. So, alright, so we're playing 1, destroy Helmet Sharp Eye, banish top card of my deck. I may play at this combat chain, activate this ability only if you control a weapon with attack greater than twice its base power. So I have 2, control 2 weapons of that. Fill that role. Alright, let's see what we got. Oops.
I think I just punted.
It's a Spoils of War. Okay, it's a whiff.
Okay. Nobody needs to know that I punted.
Could have potentially played it on the first chain link. I could have activated Helmet Sharp Eye, but it's if you have the burn spell, like even if it's like an ice bolt or something, I just die.
No, I think I played it incorrect. I think I maybe should have overblocked it with like 2 pieces of armor. Actually,
I thought you might have. Yeah. Okay. Well, we're gonna come in for 2 here with the Centauri Saber.
Okay. I'm gonna block for 3, and I'm gonna Waning Moon you for 3.
Yep. So I'll go down to 1.
Yep.
All right.
1-0.
Oh, if that's the last card in Brennan's hand is a blue, we're in some trouble.
Well, in classic fashion, I'm going to Arsenal pass.
Yeah, I bet. Okay, not the best hand. I'm going to pitch this red second swing and come with Centauri Saber for 2.
So I will respond.
Yep.
A blue Aether Hail.
Yep, that's going to do it. We can pitch to prevent 1, but then we're going to take 1 and die plus the Waning Moon. So, good game.
Good game.
All right, tight game there. 1-1 at the end there. Dorinthea into Iyslander. That's the second in our Fab TCG video series here on the channel. Dynasty Blitz. We've got 2 more coming up. These are full powered versions coming up with some pretty spicy gameplay for you. Brendan, super interesting game there. I thought, cool to show off something like Centauri Saber, Dagger, You know, you didn't get to show off as much from your side. You didn't get to get that, you know, nice ponder token out of Swell Tidings, but in the end, a pretty close game that came down to, you know, that blue from Arsenal, something that Iyslander can do, you know, cheating out that second sort of turn in a row, which is something that, you know, just makes Iyslander so powerful in this format.
Yeah, and speaking of what makes Iyslander so powerful, like when it comes to Dynasty, a lot of the cards, they do fit into Iyslander, but they don't fit into this archetype of Iyslander, which I think right now is the most powerful version. You can look at some of these blessing cards to potentially set up big spells on your turn and try to play more tempo that way. But fundamentally, I think that Iyslander is at its strongest state when it's combining attack actions with sort of these non-attack actions that also disrupt the opponent. And because of that, in Dynasty, probably the only card you could consider including in that archetype might be Swell Tidings, and that's because people have gotten less and less Arcane Barrier, right? In the previous formats, we saw people run 1 Arcane Barrier so that they could pitch 1 and then pay 2 for the Aether Ice Vein trigger. Now that Aether Ice Vein is completely gone, I wouldn't be surprised to see a few opponents, if not many of them, actually flip 0 Arcane Barrier on you at some time, in which case Swell Tidings does become quite good. At that, if they're running something like 1 Arcane Barrier, Swell Tidings is not very efficient to pitch an entire card to stop that ponder token, so I think it's a legitimate consideration to put in this deck. I want to talk quickly about the Frost Techs. So yes, Crown of Providence is a potential upgrade, also Coronet Peak. You might run something like Crown of Providence against Dorinthea. Coronet Peak is good though also because taxing their hand, Dorinthea is just sort of a class that's exponentially powerful based off, you know, the larger their hand is, right? The 4-card hand is way different from the 5-card, and if you get them down to a 3-card, et cetera, et cetera. We ended up getting this Frost Text, not something we wanted to play out, but luckily we were able to get a window so that we could sort of get it out on the board, clear our arsenal, and then continue with our game plan.
Yep. Yeah. Super close game. I think, you know, had Brendan been on an arcane variant there, we got pretty punished for those Nullrune gloves, but luckily all of our equipment are pretty relevant outside of just defending. So great game, Brendan, and we'll see you in the next one.